All right, this is Algebra 2 review for the second test. All right, you see what I've written on the board? The second test covers lessons 13 through 24. There are no problems from lesson 23. That's the lesson where you're given the graph, where you're told to graph the equations and come up with the solution. I said we're never doing that. How are we solving a system of equations if you're given two equations? What two ways are we solving them? Either substitution or elimination. So not the way lesson 23 teaches it. That is two of the lessons. You will have to know how to solve a system of equations by substitution or elimination. I believe that's lesson 15 and lesson 17. Actually, it's 13 and 15. Lessons 13 and 15, I believe, are substitution and elimination. That is on your test. You have to know, all the lessons are on your test. All of the lessons are on your test except 23. There will be 4 problems that are on a separate sheet of paper. That is what you will be given first. And you will not be allowed to use your calculator for these 4 problems at all. Calculators open up, not even to check them. Yes, ma'am.
How many questions total?
20.
Oh.
So 4 on a separate sheet where you will not be allowed to use your calculator. They are from lessons 20 and 21. So it's the scientific numbers and it's radical simplification. Like the square root of 224, simplifying that. Or, well, we'll look at them in just a minute. All right. So once you finish this page, you will turn it in to me, and then I will give you the second part of the test, and that is when you can use your calculator. And there's 16 problems on the second part of the test. All right, so look at lesson 13. I'm on page 71. It is substitution. Does anybody have any questions on substitution? It's where you're going to take one equation, solve it for a variable, and substitute that into the other equation. You're solving for x and y. That is where those equations intersect. That's where the equations are concurrent. Is everybody good on substitution? Everybody feels confident with substitution? All right, lesson 14. One of the key lessons in this set of homework. It's arriving at an equation from either 2 coordinate points or the slope and a coordinate point. All right, so if I have 2 coordinate points, I'm first calculating the slope. And the slope is the change in y over the change in x. Once I arrive at the slope, then I'm going to use the point slope formula to arrive at the function, to arrive at the equation. So first, if I'm given 2 points, 2 coordinate points like 2, 3, 1, -1, I'm going to calculate the slope. So the slope is the change in y over the change in x. Then once I get the slope, I'm going to substitute it in to the equation, and I'm going to pick a point. And I'm going to substitute the y value and the x value in. And I'm going to get the equation. Or if I'm given the slope, I tell you the slope is 2/3 and the line intersects the coordinate point 2, -4. I'm still going into point slope. It's going to be y minus -4, which is +4, equals the slope times x minus the x coordinate. I'm distributing it, making it look like y equals mx plus b. So 2 ways that question can be asked. Given 2 coordinate points, and you have to come up with the equation, or I give you the slope and I give you a point, and you substitute it in the point slope form. Got it? Is everybody good with that? So finding the equation of a line. Lesson 15 is elimination. That's where you're either going to eliminate the x variable or eliminate the y variable in the system of equations by making their coefficients the opposite term. So if one is 2x, you're going to make the other one negative 2x and add them and eliminate that variable and solve for both of them. You should always be able to know if your answer is correct, because if you substitute the x and the y coordinates back into both of the equations should be true. Make sense? Lesson 16, multiplying polynomials and dividing polynomials. Yes.
I have a question on lesson 24. I keep telling me.
Okay.
So,
Is lesson 24? Can you wait till we get there? Or is it from
so
lesson
it's from
16?
this lesson.
Okay, what is it?
So, it was the number, and then it was divided by negative 2 minus x. I was
Okay,
wondering,
give it to me. The exact.
3x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x minus 3 divided by negative 2 minus x.
Negative 2 minus x.
So I was wondering what you put as the backwards after that.
So that's negative 2, negative x minus 2. It's whatever makes that 0.
I put negative,
So it's whatever makes that 0.
so I use negative 2.
Yes, yes.
And then I,
So it'd be negative x equals 2. So it's x equals negative 2.
so I did that. And then like, I got the numbers right, but the book disagreed with me on the signs.
They were probably all just opposites.
Yeah.
I would take that.
Oh, you're taking-
Yeah, I would take it.
So
Yes.
is it wrong?
No. No.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
okay.
It's not wrong.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not going to give you anything like that anyway.
Okay, because I was like.
It's going to be divided by x minus 2. I'm not going to give you negative x.
I mean,
Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Does everybody know how to do synthetic division? Do you remember? You can use synthetic division. Easy peasy. Ask Lewis. Okay? All right. Y'all know how to multiply polynomials? Yes? Is everybody good with that? All right, look at it. Look at lesson 17. This is before we had word problems for rate times time. So literally the equations are given to you and you're having to substitute in. That's all lesson 17 is. So no words, equations are given. You have to solve by substitution or elimination. Got it? Got it?
Yep.
17. Move to 18. Now we have ratio word problems. So you're going to have something over something equals numerator over denominator, or x over y. And you're still just going to end up with 2 equations, and you have to use substitution or elimination. So the big thing for this, the 2 big concepts for this test are, can you come up with equations? Can you use substitution or elimination to solve them? And can you come up with an equation of a line? Those are the big items. All right? All right, so keep moving. Lesson 19. This is numbers and nickels and dimes. So you have an equation that's how many, and you have an equation that's how much. But again, the tool, the algebra tool you're using to solve these is, once you come up with the equations, you're using substitution or elimination. You're just having to come up with the equations. Can you come up with the equations for these word problems? For money. Like I have 10 dimes and nickels. That's how many? D plus N is 10. And their value is $1.50. So that's 5n plus 10d equals 150. Got it? All right, move to lesson 20. Simplifying radicals. This is what is on the test. No calculator. The first part. Only the first part. So, examples 1, 2, and 3. You should know how to work without a calculator. So, go back and practice these problems without a calculator. And then a parallel line. Parallel lines have the same slope. So you have to know what is the slope of the line given. Then I'm using that same slope with the new points to come up with an equation. You got it? Everybody good with parallel lines? You have to know how to work these. All right, move on to 21. Scientific notation. This is the one where you have to be able to work without a calculator. Like example 21.1. You have to be able to work that without a calculator. So go back and work some without a calculator. You remember how you separate the first terms and the 10 to the exponent terms, and you work those separately. All right? Two statements of equality is just like the ratio ones, except now they just look different. But again, the bottom line for the second part of lesson 21 is, can I come up with the equations and can I effectively use substitution or elimination? Got it? All right, so that's 21. 22 is the uniform motion problems. Their distances are going to be equal. So my distance is going to equal the other person's distance. And I have to use now words to arrive at the equations. But remember, we're always going to have 4 equations. We're going to have the distance one, distance equals distance. We're going to have some rate, maybe 2 rates, and then somehow their times are going to be related. You have to be able to write the equations. Those are easily checked. Nothing from lesson 23. 24 is fractional equations. With the fractional equations, what are we doing? Eliminating the denominator by multiplying each term by the least common multiple. Least common multiple counts up. Is everybody good? Anybody have any questions? That's the test.